Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Biscuit of the WoW podcast, Blue Please of uncynicalbrit.com, and as you can see, today we're going to be having a look at Desolace. I've decided to start putting in before and after maps to help give you an impression of the changes that you're about to see. So let's get on with it right now as we enter what was once a fairly desolate and, surprisingly enough, in many places still is pretty damn desolate place. My petition to have it renamed Happy Fun Joyland was apparently denied. We're going to have a look first at Thunder Axe Hold. Now, I was hoping that we'd see some major changes here, perhaps see the Burning Blade advancing or more heavily fortifying this area, but not from what I can see. I think the texture work seems to be a little bit polished up. Does that look better to you? I think it looks better to me, as far as I can tell. Maybe it's just the unique perspective from the air, but hey, whatever. Now, I did go inside here and check, but nothing's changed, so I'm going to skip forward to something a little bit more interesting, which was in the building off to the left. Inside the building looks fairly par the course for the Burning Blade. There's demon summoning going on, and of course a sexy party, which I'm apparently not invited to. They want me to get the hell out. That wasn't the interesting part. What happens next is a little odd. Why am I suddenly a demon? Have a look at the buff right there. It's pretty mad. But yeah, I got turned into a demon when I ran in there. Apparently it's some kind of... I'd call it a stacking debuff, but it's not much of a debuff. Ah, there's no dance command. That's disappointing. I have no idea. I had a look around on WoW Wiki, and I'm fairly sure that didn't happen before. Right, okay, so we've become a demon. That's a pretty good start. Let's go and have a look at the giant tree thing. This is the major change to this zone, and it's called the Cenarian Wildlands. This is where the Kodo Graveyard used to be. You can still see some remnants of that, but the massive ecological changes seem to have turned this once desolate place into a tropical paradise. Lush flora and fauna abound, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the Cenarian Circle, or Expedition, or whatever the hell they call themselves these days. They do seem to be a fan of rebranding. They've taken full advantage to be tree-hugging hippies in the middle of a desert. Very nice looking area though, no doubt about that. I have to wonder where the gazebo came from. Did they just buy it from IKEA and assemble it there, or... Sunbeams, very nice effects there through the trees. It's not a huge area, as you can see. Doesn't take all that long to get across, but hey, it's a change from what was there before, a bunch of bones. You've noticed earlier the Goblin Peddler is still up to the north of the zone there. What better way to spend the afternoon if you're a Tauren than building some totems in the middle of nowhere? Right, let's head over to the coast, shall we, and see what's changed. Not a huge amount, but there is one thing I would like to point out, so let's speed this up just a little bit. Dust Devils abound as well. Certainly the elements are having their effect here too. I wouldn't be too surprised by that. It's a common theme of Cataclysm. A little bit of a Blood Elf camp out here called Furian's Post. A couple of vendors, nothing special. I imagine there will be some questing around here at some point. That's a new area. That definitely wasn't there before. You see some lights off in the distance there. I'd like to show you them. They're part of a different zone, which I'll have a look at in a future video. They're actually part of Stone Talon. Specifically, that's the coast of the Charred Vale, which is now taking full advantage of the new lava effect, and the lava is pouring into the ocean there, coming up in brightly coloured steam. It's good stuff. We'll have a look at that in a future vid. Now, this little island over here has always been around, but I wondered whether or not its inhabitant had been. So I had a look around on WoW Wiki and had a look on WoWhead, and there was no mention of this guy. It's a giant new-style elemental. It's really more of a elemental revenant by the name of Lord Hydronus, and he seems to be beating the crap out of any Naga that he sees. This island used to be heavily populated by Naga, but he seems to have committed some kind of genocide. Most of the Naga have moved over to this island, which is a little larger, and of course all of the Naga who were around the coasts and the cliffs over there, they're still hanging around. Have a look at this from the air. As if I need to mention it right now, very nice water effects in this area as well. Now, nothing's really changed in the next few minutes of the video, so I've sped it up. You can have a look at it from the air nonetheless. We're coming around now to Moradin as well as Shadowprey Village. I was hoping to see a little bit of advancement in terms of the Troll Village off on the coast there, but nothing's changed as of yet. That said, there could be some things coming later in the beta, so don't get too disheartened. All the way around the Centaur camps here, and there's the entrance to Moradin, same as always. I did go inside here just to see if there's been any changes. There don't appear to be. All three of those zone entrances to the various wings still seem to be intact. I imagine most people will be using the LFG tool anyway to get into there. Okay, and around here to Shadowprey. Still a little bit dry around here. And there we go. Quaint little village, isn't it? Still no boats come, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get some kind of naval connection. If you want to go fishing, this is one of the better places to do it. Okay, there's a few more areas I would like to show you. We've got the Manorock Coven, which I'll fly over. There's not really been any major changes there. But you'll see a new area to the bottom right that was not in the old map. I cannot find any information on this, so I have to assume that it is brand new. And it appears to be infested by the Burning Blade. Flying over some centaurs here. Now, this you'll find unusual. These Gelkis right here are openly hostile, and they have no faction anymore. Now, the Gelkis and the Magram used to be parts of a quest where you had to pick one or the other, and then you did quests for one of them. And they used to be, as I recall, they start off unfriendly, and you talk to one of the quest givers, and then you'd be able to do quests for one of them and earn reputation and lose it with the other. That doesn't appear to be the case anymore. Now, if my maps are correct, the topography of this area has changed, and it seems to have unearthed some... What are these, giant murlocs? I have no idea. Let's fly up a little bit, have a look at them. There we go. I have no idea what those are, but they are covered in skeletons, one way or the other. You'll have seen on the map that there is an indication of those bones being there, whereas on the old map, no such thing. A few centaurs hanging around. The odd thing about a lot of these centaurs in these areas that now have skeletons and or demons and burning blade is that they can't be clicked on. On that basis, I've got to wonder whether or not they're supposed to still be there, or there's just some kind of remnant of the previous old world that hasn't been removed yet. There's one big-ass Doomguard right over there. I want to stay the hell away from that if you're a low level. Now, all of this area right here looks fairly similar to the Shadowbreak Ravine. It was a fairly hidden area, only a couple of quests. However, it seems the Burning Blade and Demon Infestation has got significantly worse. It's now expanded out to this larger area called Shock the Car, and you can see the Burning Crusade models in full use here. Very similar looking buildings that you used to see in Shadowbreak, but like I say, much larger area now that they're covering. Some nasty looking water in there, not good for a swim. We'll head over to Magram territory, and what we will see here is the fact that the Magram are also hostile. They have no faction markings, and don't appear to have any reputation anymore. It's very odd. I would have thought that the whole war between the Centaur clans was central to this zone, but it seems to be more a case of trying to repel the infestation of the Burning Blade and getting rid of the demons now than fighting with horse people. Now we're going to head over to here where there used to be an infestation of nasty little satyrs. They are still there. Let's have a look in here. Ah yes, up to their tricksers. Nasty, filthy satyrs. It's a little bit greener around here than it used to be. And one last thing that I want to show you, of course, that's going to be the Alliance camp at the top of this zone. Didn't spot any major changes, but I've never been in it at all. Actually, no, I think I've been in it once to gank people. Aside from that, not at all. And that concludes our tour of Desolace, ladies and gentlemen. Not a huge number of drastic changes. aside from the obvious one in the dead center of the zone. I think we're going to see some moderation in some of these zones. They're not going to go crazy for absolutely everything just for the sake of changing it. Good stuff, though. Looking to see some demon plot lines. That's always enjoyable. My name's been Total Biscuit, and this has been a look at the revamped zone of Desolace. I'll see you next time.